South Africa, a country where violent crime is heartbreakingly common and tragedy often feels inevitable. But hidden in the shadows are stories that defy belief. A cousin dead, a sister gone, a boyfriend brutally murdered. At first, no one suspected a pattern. Families grieved, neighbors whispered, but the questions ran deeper. Could one woman truly be so unlucky, or was there more to the story? This is Crimes of Africa. Hello and welcome to another episode of Crimes of Africa. Today's story takes us to Johannesburg, a bustling city of wealth and poverty, of opportunity and desperation. It is here, hidden in plain sight, that a series of mysterious deaths began to unfold. Deaths that at first seemed random, but would later reveal a sinister web twisted by someone that no one would have suspected. Johannesburg is South Africa's heartbeat. It's a mega city built on gold, with skyscrapers towering above sprawling informal settlements. A place of contrast where wealth and desperation live side by side. Here, life can be unforgiving. Jobs are scarce, crime is high, and money often determines who survives. For one police officer, money would become not just a need, but an obsession. Born in 1975, Rosemary Ndlovu grew up in Johannesburg in a modest family. She graduated high school, trained as a police officer, and eventually secured work as a constable. Outwardly, she appeared respectable. Colleagues remembered her as tough, outspoken, sometimes generous, and sometimes short-tempered. She had a stable career, a home, and eventually a child. By all accounts, she was a woman who had built her life on discipline and duty. But in the shadows, misfortune seemed to follow Rosemary wherever she went. In 2012, Rosemary's cousin, Madala Homo, disappeared. Days later, his body was found beaten and dumped near Oliver's Fontaine. His family buried him in sorrow, while Rosemary seemed devastated. A year later, in 2013, her sister Audrey was discovered dead in her home, poisoned and strangled. Again, Rosemary mourned. Again, the community whispered. Then, in 2015, came a brutal shock. Her partner, Maurice Mabasa, a kind and generous man, vanished one night after an argument. His body was later found stabbed more than 80 times. The violence shocked everyone. By now, Rosemary had lost 3 people she loved in just 3 years. To outsiders, she appeared cursed by tragedy. But as time passed, questions began to grow. The misfortunes didn't stop. In 2016, her niece, Zanelle Motha, was hit by a car. She survived the accident with only minor injuries until suddenly that same night, she collapsed and died from severe internal trauma. In 2017, 2 more nephews, Mayeni Mashaba and Brilliant Machego, also died unexpectedly. Both were last seen alive in Rosemary's company. 6 deaths, all connected to one woman. By 2018, Rosemary's life was getting worse. Her gambling drained her finances, and insurance companies had begun rejecting her claims. Desperation set in and a chilling rumor began to circulate. That is when she approached a man named Ijabulu Kunene. He was offered money Calmly, Rosemary laid out the details of the job, how, when, and what she wanted done. Kunene listened and then, horrified, went straight to the police. Authorities devised a trap. They wired Kunene, recorded conversations, and waited. Rosemary took the bait. On tape, she spoke without hesitation. She explained how her sister, her nieces, and nephews should be eliminated. It was chilling, methodical, and undeniable. The woman who had attended funerals, shed tears, and comforted family members was in fact a serial killer. The tragedies of the past decade had not been accidents. They had been carefully planned murders executed for one purpose: money. In 2021, Rosemary Ndlovu stood trial for 6 counts of premeditated murder, 4 counts of fraud, and 7 counts of incitement to commit murder. Over 40 witnesses came forward, grieving relatives, colleagues from the police force, and the hitmen she had tried to hire. Prosecutors reveal a chilling pattern. Each victim had been insured. Each policy had named Rosemary as beneficiary, and each death had brought her cash. In total, she had received around 1.4 million rand, or about 90,000 US dollars. In court, she remained cold, sometimes even joking. Families testified to her cruelty, pointing out that while she collected payouts, she rarely contributed more than a few coins to funeral costs. The verdict was damning. Rosemary was found guilty on all charges. Her sentence: 6 life terms for murder, 70 years of incitement to murder, 10 years for fraud. She would likely never walk free again. Rosemary Ndlovu turned family into profit. To her, sisters, cousins, nephews, and partners were not loved ones. There were policies, payouts, and opportunities. Her surviving sister Joyce reflected with heartbreaking clarity. "I don't have anything. Even my house was built by the government. It pains me. She had a job, a salary. I wondered why she wanted to kill me when I had nothing. Then I remembered my children and I were supposed to be dead." Rosemary's story is one of the darkest chapters of South Africa's recent history. A tale of betrayal, greed, and cold-blooded calculation. She weaponized trust, turned her badge into a shield, and destroyed the very people she was meant to protect. Her crimes remind us of a chilling truth. Sometimes the most dangerous predators are not strangers lurking in the dark, but those we welcome into our homes, our families, and our lives. Thank you for joining us for this episode of Crimes of Africa. Until next time, remember that not all tragedies are accidents. Some are orchestrated by the people closest to us.